Parsons coming to you from my desk. I wanted to make a video to send out to you guys because I miss you so much. I miss seeing you and I miss talking to you every day. And while this is not the same at all, and I'm talking to a camera, it's about as close as I can get, so I'll take it. I wanted to give you first an announcement from Specials. We have made for you a Specials bingo card. Now, you should have seen this somehow, some way, at some point. If you haven't, that's okay. We will get it to you. This Specials bingo card is available on my Canvas course, the music Canvas course. You can email any teacher, me, Coach Bonet, Miss Jackson, or your classroom teacher, and they should be able to get it to you. If you are doing paper-based distance learning, this should be coming to you in a packet at some point. If you haven't gotten it, that's okay. You don't actually need the paper. I like having a paper. It says you can color the squares if you want to color. Please feel free to print it out. Make sure you get a paper one. But if not, you don't need it. It just has some ideas of things that you can do, one activity a day to keep yourself active and keep yourself being creative and give you a little bit of a break in your day. There's one for every grade level. Again, you can find them in my Canvas course. Everybody can get on a music Canvas course. Or you can email us or dojo us and we will send one to you right away. Okay, so there's this for you. Now, what I also wanted to do today on this video is share with you one of my music squares. So everybody, kindergarten through 5th grade, has a square on there somewhere that says something about making an instrument. It might say just make an instrument using household items. For some of my bigger grades, it might say make an instrument and play a rhythm with it, but you gotta make the instrument before you can play a rhythm with it, right? So I wanted to share some ideas with you of things that I might make or things that I have been making. So you have a few different options of instrument families to choose from when you make an instrument. You could choose to make a shaker. You could choose to make something metal from the metal family. You could choose to make a membrane instrument. Or if you feel real fancy, I'll show you one at the end, you might choose to make a string instrument. Oh, and wooden, I forgot. Wooden is in there too if you have something that's made of wood. So that's 5 different families that you can choose from. Let me start. I'll show you the simplest ones first and then get a little bit more fancy as we go, okay? So the first one I want to show you is the beginning of a membrane instrument. I didn't finish it, but I wanted to show you what I start with and see if you can maybe come up with something else. I have an empty tissue box. It's got a hole on one side. Now, that would be where the membrane might go. If I had something really stretchy, I could probably stretch it over that. But for right now, if I just use the box and I cover the hole with my hand a little bit, I have a chopstick here. You could use a pencil, you could use a pen, you could use a straw, anything that is small, not aggressive, right? We're not gonna damage the box. But you can tap it, right? If I squeeze the box, it kind of changes a little bit. There's different sides that sound different, okay? But if you wanted to create a membrane instrument like a drum, you could stretch something, maybe tape, maybe a glove, like a rubber glove or something over the top here. You can kind of hear it starting if you tap on the plastic part. So I'm gonna leave finishing that one up to you. Here are a couple of ones that I've already finished. Where am I? What's happening? Okay, I have 2 shakers that I've made. I took 2 different Tupperware containers and I filled them with different things. Now, my Tupperwares are made of different kinds of plastic. This one is harder and this one is softer, so they already are gonna sound different. The first one, this green one, I filled it with rice, because rice is small, right? Just a little bit of rice in there, and I put the lid on. And I would recommend that you either tape the lid shut or hold it with 2 hands, especially if you've got Tupperware that doesn't like to stay shut, okay? Make sure that you're not making a mess. If you make a mess, make sure you clean it up. And depending, because this is kind of soft, you can see it sort of indents right there when I squeeze it. It sounds different depending on how I hold it. So I can hold it tight. I can also change the way I turn it. And if I hold it really loosely, it makes it sound a little bit lower. Okay, so that's my rice shaker. I could also hold it this way if I want to make sure that nothing's going to come out of the top. I've got a rice shaker from my rice jar right there.
The second one is harder plastic, and I filled it with some popcorn kernels. I just took some. I have one of these like big popcorn things because I make popcorn on the stove, and I filled it with just a little bit of kernels. These are harder and they're bigger, and the plastic is harder, so it's going to sound a little different. Or I can turn it, or I can squeeze it, and it sounds a bunch of different ways. So there are my two shakers. I have from the Metal family, I have my tiny mixing bowl. This, depending on how I hold it, can make different sounds. So I can tap it, holding it on the edge, I can tap it on the top. I can use the other end of the chopstick. It's a little bit louder. I can tap it on the side or on the edge. You can get really creative. You could hold it, like put one finger up inside, and it rings for a really long time on the edge if you can balance it. This is like a balancing act, if you will, right? So I've got my little bowl bell here. And the last thing that I wanted to show you was my attempt at a string instrument. Now, one of my projects that I've been working on while we've been social distancing, I've been learning how to crochet. So I had a ton of yarn laying around, and I thought it would be cool if I used that to make something. The yarn did not work. However, I have some floss, like some dental floss, and I put it, this is my cat, Alice. She got really excited about the string. What I did is I tied a piece of floss on a strainer. So this is like a strainer you would use for pasta, and I tied it around the handle here, put it through a hole, so it goes up in the middle, and out through another hole on the other side. And if I pull it, like I hold it in my fingers and I pull it, it was working. I promise it was working. I can change the way, the sound it makes. I did not think about how this would be holding it up in the air. There we go. So the tighter I pull it, the higher the pitch of the string, the floss is, and the looser I hold it, the lower it gets. Right. Now if you wanted to, you could maybe tie it off and put a bunch of different strings in there. I'm going to leave that up to you, but these are just some ideas that I had for making your own instruments. If you want to, you could also make a scraper. I didn't make one, but I have one. A scraper would be something that's made usually of wood that you would take something and scrape along the back. Okay, so I hope that you've had some inspiration and that you are going to go ahead and make yourself an instrument. I would love to see them. If you play something with it, especially, you can send me pictures, videos, anything that you'd like. You can send to me via email or on Canvas or through Class Dojo. I would love to see what you guys are creating and playing. I miss you. I hope that everybody's staying safe and healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye.